Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day? Ain't it a great day?
Hello everyone, my name's Dean. Let's talk crypto. This is where you subscribe for daily Bitcoin updates and technical analysis. We track the price of Bitcoin as a proxy for the cryptocurrency markets at large. Today is August 6th, 2025, and Bitcoin has a new target in the immediate short term. I have a new target to the downside for the immediate short term for Bitcoin. I'm going to share that with you today. And I'm going to look at the price action, the most recent price action that we've had on the charts. Has it changed our high time frame analysis? Has anything changed? We're going to have a look at that. If that all sounds interesting to you, then watch until the very end. Hope everyone's having a great day. Let's get into it. Let's start with Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. So last we spoke, Bitcoin was around here and looking to chop and probably break down. It looked like it was breaking down. And actually, let's go on the hourly time frame. So last we spoke, Bitcoin was under this price action. So it was under yesterday's head and shoulders bearish reversal breakdown. So we broke down from that head and shoulders bearish reversal pattern. We came up, we hit our heads against it, and it seemed like the price would lose steam at this resistance. Granted, it's not a massive resistance because it's, a head and shoulders pattern that we had formed. It took about 2 days, but we found a way to come up above, that previous head and shoulders bearish resistance, and we hit another resistance, but a much larger resistance, the 19-day midline, actually now 20-21-day midline of this larger purple channel. So Bitcoin is still at resistance, and actually this is the most important resistance. So let's zoom back out on the 4-hourly and let's have a look. Again, I've said this before, but it bears repeating. If Bitcoin is not able to overcome this midline, right, it has to lose the channel. This is channel trading 101. The midline or heart line is the most important part of the channel, and it represents the fair market value of the asset for the duration of the channel's length. So it's over the past 20 days, the price of Bitcoin is, the fair market value is about 115.5, let's say, which represents the current price at the midline. If Bitcoin's not able to go above that, then it's coming down. It's coming down. And that's pretty much why this resistance is likely to reject Bitcoin, because if this is indeed a bearish channel, a channel of distribution, what happens is you come from the top, go to the bottom, and you find resistance at the midline saying that the price of Bitcoin does not exceed the fair market value. Actually, it's much lower. That's what this says, a rejection at this point. A reversal, or like a reclamation of the midline, states the opposite. The fair market value of Bitcoin is higher than 115, and 115 does not reflect its notional, its fair market value. So we're going to go higher. So that's really why this is very important. And last we were here, I said it's a decision point. It's a decision marker. What is Bitcoin going to do? Now, how do I look at this? Am I still bearish? Do I still think that we're more likely than not to retreat from this level? And the answer is yes. How am I looking at this technically? Well, technically what I see is a impulse, a corrective impulse, but an impulse nonetheless. And subsequent to that, I see a ABC retracement of this impulse. So I'm seeing a sort of zigzag. So an impulsive move followed by an ABC correction that came up and tested the midline resistance twice. If it's an important level of resistance or support, it typically does get retested twice. Okay? And we know, according to Elliott wave analysis, corrections come in flavors of 3. So this is my flavor of 3 correction, A, B, C. This is just a theory. Could be wrong, but I believe that this is correct, not just in looking at this price action here, but also having a look at my stochastic RSI momentum indicator that indicates that I have a double retest here and that we've come to a top here. We've come to a top. So that's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin's intraday 4-hourly time frame. I'm still not bullish. I still do believe that we're going to break down. Has it taken a while? Absolutely. But to be honest, the whole thing has taken forever. I mean, like I showed you yesterday, we've been looking at this breakdown in ensuing or sort of impending breakdown for years. And, you know, this is the top of a 300-day channel, and then this 19-day channel is at the top of the 300-day channel. That's just the nature of price action. It takes an extreme amount of patience, an extreme amount of assiduity, an extreme amount of just consistent analysis and execution to be successful on a high time frame. It's not for the faint of heart. It's not for the fly-by night. Oh, you know, I saw a green candle, I'm going to get rich. Oh, I saw a red candle, it's going to go down. This is not that. If you're impatient, this may not be the market or business for you. It takes a lot. It takes a great deal. But if you're consistent and on the balance of probability, your analysis is good and consistent, you'll be right more than you're wrong. You'll not only be able to survive it, it won't be so unpleasant. Okay? It won't be so unpleasant because you'll generally see your reads play out. Generally. Will you be right 100%? No. But generally speaking, if you have good risk management on a high time frame, you'll be successful. So that's Bitcoin on the 4-hourly time frame. Now, what about the new target I teased in the intro? So, if this indeed right here is a zigzag, so if I'm looking at this as an impulse, corrective impulse, and a subsequent ABC correction, then this right here is not pure impulse, and this will lead to pure impulse. So I do believe that my C wave or my pure impulse starts here. And if that pure impulse starts here, I start measuring from here. If I start measuring from here, then my new target is not 100K, but it's 98K. My new target's 98K. My new retracement is underneath all of this right here at around 108. Okay, so I'm looking to go to 98, back to 108, and then back down again. So that is my new target. It's not much different, again, from before, which I said 100K, but sure, in the interest of precision, I'll say my new official initial target for Bitcoin is 98K. And once we hit that 98K, I'm expecting a bounce to 108 thereabouts, which represents the 0618 of this drop. Okay, it's the retracement. So again, Bitcoin would be going up from 98K in a counter correction upwards. In that move from 98 to 108, I'm expecting altcoins to do, not every altcoin, but the altcoins on support to do amazing things. That's just a 10% move, but that should be amazing for most altcoins. Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Nothing more to say there. Why am I still bearish on Bitcoin? Well, if I'm looking at my Bitcoin dominance chart, it's still quite bullish. Has it moved? No, it hasn't moved bullishly. But is it consolidating? Is it basing? Is it bottoming? Yes. I think that's quite clear. So if I'm looking at this chart right here, obviously you can see all of this, right? This has been already done. But now let's focus on this. So I'm just going to zoom in on that portion. Does this look bearish or bullish to you? Well, what does it look like? Well, I'm seeing this as all of this as being an inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern broken out, right? So if this is indeed an inverse head and shoulders bullish reversal pattern, that's my neckline. My breakout hit its target, which is the height of the inverse head and shoulders superimposed from the side of breakout. I hit my target. From there, I'm putting in a retracement back to the neckline. Again, this is the breakout. This is the three-wave retracement back to the neckline. Old resistance is new support, and that's my final breakout. So this is my A, B, C move in Bitcoin dominance. So if Bitcoin dominance looks bullish, this to me further underlines the idea that Bitcoin's bearish and the rest of the cryptocurrency market's bearish. Remember, if Bitcoin dominance is pumping or about to pump or looks like it's threatening to pump, then the rest of the market is likely to draw down. Okay? Bitcoin's likely to draw down, and altcoins are likely to draw down a bit more than Bitcoin, which is when you see Bitcoin dominance going up. Still my target on the high time frame, 94%, or sorry, 64% thereabouts. My high time frame analysis, I'm not going to rehash it here, shows 64% being my target for Bitcoin dominance. I'm still expecting that. So I just want to reiterate here, take the chance to reiterate that you don't want to lose yourself in the day-to-day, intraday, movements of price. Did we expect this to double test the midline? No. If we're correct, right? First, we thought this was, well, let me speak for myself. I thought this was it. It comes back down and it does it again. Do I throw away my trading thesis? Absolutely not. Did I expect it to test twice? Absolutely not. But again, give yourself a chance, leave yourself some leeway for how things are going to happen. But on the high time frame, have a good understanding of what's staunch resistance, what's staunch support, what you're generally expecting. And leave aside how exactly it has to happen. If you're a trader and you're trading and you're thinking it has to break down from here, and if it doesn't, I'm toast, and you don't leave the possibility for this to be retested, then your risk management strategy is off. This has to be really absorbed by you to be successful, because you were right and still lost. So I want to just give people that perspective. Things don't always happen exactly how we planned or we believed it should, but we can still be correct on our higher time frame analysis. Last but not least, let's have a quick look at the total 3. And the total 3, just like Bitcoin, went back up to this level of resistance that we thought we had left, right? We thought we had left it behind. We broke back into the channel. We popped right back at this level of resistance. Does that break, or does that invalidate our overall thesis of this being an overall downtrend? Absolutely not. You just retest resistance one more time. Just like sometimes when you're on a support level and you're expecting a breakout, right, an uptrend, you retest support more often than you expect. Leave yourself the possibility in your trading theses for multiple retests of key levels. Don't assume that you're 100% correct how many times it's going to go back to that key level of support or resistance. I think you can take your trading and your analysis to a new level with that leeway. All right. So that's pretty much it. There's not much to say more than that in what has transpired in the past 24 hours. Guys, I hope this was helpful, useful. Like, share, and subscribe. If you got value, consider tipping me. Litecoin, Venmo, Cash App, all at the pinned comment below. Consider my crypto portfolio mentorship and consultation service. Also can be found at the pinned comment below. And last but not least, don't forget our new exchange partner for the channel, BTCC, has a promo where if you are new and you're making a new deposit on the exchange of at least 500 USDT or the equivalent of 500 USDT, you immediately are eligible to get back 10% of that. So if you deposit 500 USDT, for instance, on the exchange, in about a week, you'll see a deposit of $50 or 50 USDT back into your account just for having done that, right? Obviously, you have to make a trade, but you know, you can make any kind of trade in that time and definitely keep the money that you deposited on the exchange for the period of time, for the week until you get that bonus. But that's pretty much it. Guys, that's it. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye.
Endeavors to occupy my prevalent time slot. I vocalize, too deep to localize. Even when I'm right on the surface, you act surprised how I work this, but I can't lie. Many a good alibi. I'll catch you later.
Visions are vividly enhanced with emphasis and amethyst to develop morale advantages which help us manifest magnanimous. We body vitals like evangelists. So listen when you're dealing with people who be revealing premonitions with precision. At least that's what I'm aiming at for now. I speak the language of the world, meandering throughout the crowd. Used to feel safe to say anything, but now it's a risk. It's hard for me to let go when all I can do is reminisce. Gone like the wind, here's where I begin. Should I smile or should I grin what's happening?